Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on live through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, coming again today, you're very, very welcome and Happy New Year 2025. This is my first video for 2025. So, welcome back to Live Reflection Through Music for another year. And we finished off last year with Justice Crew and their song Sera. Of course, Justice Crew are from Australia, and just whatever will be, will be. Sometimes we can't predict life. Sometimes we don't know where life is heading. Sometimes we just got to accept what's going on, but think about how we can make differences at the same time. So Tracy found that one encouraging. Well, we're going on to a worldwide phenomenon today. Since he got discovered on YouTube, this guy has been absolutely huge. His story started in 1994 in London, Ontario. This guy's renowned for his multi-genre music performances. This guy's considered an icon. He's considered a person that's reinvented pop stardom. He sold 150 million albums, making him one of the highest selling artists of all time. A bit of context, I suppose, Beatles 600 million, Elton John 300 million. This guy sold 150 million albums. It was back in YouTube where the song "A Baby" came out, and this pretty well catapulted Justin Bieber, who we're talking about today, into superstardom. He was getting such a massive following, this guy, that he ended up getting signed to a record label. And out came the album. There had been an EP prior to this one, but we had My World 2.0 came out in 2010. This album, for a first album, debuted at #1. In fact, it got to in the top 10 in 15 countries. And this kid was only like 16 at the time, on a world tour. In fact, he was one of the first in 47 years to actually have a debut #1 album for someone so young. So he embarked on a world tour, and the song "Baby" would become one of his signature tunes. And it's all about, hey, what do you know at the age of 16? But this particular song has had 3.3 billion views on YouTube. This just goes to show you. I want you to love it. I think you're gorgeous. I want to be with you, all that sort of stuff. So we've got an official and live version of "A Baby" below. The live version is all the way forward in 2024. Just compare the two. We've got someone at the start, someone 14 years later. We all know that Justin Bieber seems to always be in the press for something or other, but you cannot deny the success this guy's has had. So we've got "Baby" official and live version below. You've got to have those two, of course. Also off that album, "Somebody to Love." I first heard this song on the show Glee, and of course there's just something I love about the chorus. "Baby" and "Somebody to Love," they're kind of linked in many, many ways. Hey, I want to love somebody, because we want to be loved, but also want to be able to love. And I think this is a bit of a common human need in the world today. So we've got a live version of that one. 2011, out came a Christmas album. So there we go, "Under the Mistletoe." And then 2012, out came the album "Believe." We've got "All Around the World." I think this is a bit of a tip of the hat to how quickly Justin Bieber's career not just blossomed, it exploded. And this is, your usual, this is what being on the road clip is all about. And I think it's just acknowledging, I think also that, hey, look, I've only got a career because of you guys, really. And I want to thank you so much for giving me the start I've got. And so to be able to sort of come out with a song like this one to acknowledge his career is pretty cool. So we've got the official clip of "All Around the World." "Boyfriend" was a massive song for Justin Bieber. I thought I wanted to get something absolutely live. You're never really sure, but we've got an acoustic version of "Boyfriend" here. Hey, I want to be your boyfriend. There's a bit of a common theme going through these songs. Obviously, someone who is starting to, I suppose, become an adult, become a man. What relationships all about? It's something really good to actually see the reflectiveness of a guy that actually writes his own songs too. In some cases, to be able to reflect on these things. A Boyfriend was one of Justin's biggest songs, number 2 on debut, and in week 1 sold 521,000 units worldwide. So pretty big effort for Justin at that point. We also had in 2015, we had a bit of a compilation partnership with Skrillex and Diplo, Where Are You Now? This particular song won a Grammy Award and debuted at number 8. In fact, it got to number 8 in the charts. So not only fans were acknowledging Justin, but also the industry. And so it's always, when you've got that all-rounded performance, dancing, this guy can dance absolutely and sing, you know, you've got an absolute superstar in your hands. So I've got the official clip of Where Are You Now? 2015, also the album Purpose came out, and we've got the song What Do You Mean? Now I'm seeing a bit of a flow on where with these songs. We've got Baby, you know, Somebody to Love is all about, hey, loving somebody or somebody to love. We've also got Where Are You Now? Like, where have you come from? Where have you been? We've got the song What Do You Mean? Now we've got a TV clip of that one below. Just imagine the scene, right? You know, you're in a happy relationship and you think things are going really well. There's no indication, no warning, no nothing that anything is wrong. Next minute, they come home and say, you know what, mate? Can't do this. It's over. What do you mean? To quote Justin Bieber here, what do you mean? What? I had no idea, and I thought no even a hint that anything was up. And now you're telling me things are over. You know what? The person who might be thinking, who's saying it's over, they've been thinking about this single day, maybe for a few weeks even. And you know, they've had an opportunity to process and to reflect and to resonate about the words that need to be said. But for the person who's got no idea that it's coming, it's a blind side. The person, by the way, also may be giving their all to the relationship too. They're just doing what they do, and they're doing the best they can, and all of that sort of stuff. But when these words come, the reaction, I had no idea. Now, it's a bit of responsibility on the person who's actually calling it too. I say, hey, look, you know what? You know, we need to talk about this thing first. Not to actually say, hey, it's over. You would never want to be on the receiving end of that, would you? You just wouldn't. Because, you know, you're left reeling. You're left not sure about anything. So I think the ending of relationships, I think in 2025, often we think about, I'm not, by the way, you know, relationships going really, really well, but we do think about things in New Year's. Sometimes we think, oh, you know what? I'm not quite sure about this. But instead of just doing the whole, hey, it's over, see you later. Well, if it's abuse, that's different. But if it's not, if it's like, you know, it's just not working for me, well, we owe it to the other person who's put in emotional investment and their heart and conversations, intimate moments, all the sort of stuff that goes in with relationships. You owe it to them, don't you, to actually be kind. If it's not working for you, absolutely, you know, if you need to call it, you call it, but you do it in a kind way. Because, you know, think about it totally selfish for a second, and that is that, you know, it may not hit you at the time that you call it, but weeks, months down the track, you reflect back on that moment because you know what, you were invested in that relationship too. Oh, didn't do that so well. In fact, I shouldn't have done it at all. In fact, I still want to be with them. The human heart longs and yearns for things that once were, and particularly when things don't finish well. And so we owe it to ourselves to really, really think this stuff through before we call things. And we owe it to the other person too, to be as kind as we can. Because the last thing we want to do, and when we leave a relationship, is to be bitter and to carry bitterness forward. That person was a mongrel, that person was horrible, I hated their guts. That's bitterness. Sure, there may be elements of that in there, but you want to walk forward in the best way you can as well. And not having bitterness in there, it's not a bad way to go. Just think about it, if a relationship comes to an end, normally fights happen because you're both upholding some element of something that you want. But when the relationship is over, you don't have to do that anymore, do you? So therefore we can think about, well, I don't have to uphold a side here. So what can I do to actually just make things finish the best way that they can? So what do you mean is a really, really good question. Why, and this, by the way, this debut single debuted at #1, by the way. I think this really resonated with the world. This one is from the receiving end of the breakup. And I think there's something quite insightful about these particular lyrics. And obviously, if you are on the receiving end of it's over, you've always got to reflect on, well, hey, what could have I done differently as well? How's my interaction with love going? So that we can all walk forward in the best way possible. Just don't forget, when relationships finish, everybody's got to move forward. So how can we do that in a way that's going to be kind and nice? So trust that will be all a bit of encouragement for you today. We've also got, from that album Purpose, we've also got Love Yourself. They've got a live acoustic version of that one before. This is another one that Justin Bieber is known for. A bit of a link, I think, also with, when you are faced with a relationship and ending, you've got to pick yourself up and see yourself as okay. So it was around 2016 that Justin Bieber was one of these few people that had the top 3 singles in the UK charts. And we're talking about spots 1, 2, and 3 all at the same time. And this has been the incredible thing about Justin Bieber. Out of all of his albums, he's actually, this has been 6 studio albums and 2 EPs. He's had 8 #1 albums. Just get your head around that for a second. 8 #1s. That just shows how popular worldwide this guy actually is. Not just in the UK, but also in the US. And I think Justin Bieber has really well and truly contributed to this legacy of this thing called music, because in 11 years it's been 6 studio albums, 2 EPs, 3 compilation albums, and 76 singles. He's also been acknowledged by the industry too. He's actually won 379 awards, just a few of those: 22 ASCAP awards, 26 Billboard awards, 18 American Music Awards, 2 Grammy Awards, and he's broken 33 Guinness World Records record sales. So this guy is a phenomenon, absolutely. So it's good to be able to give this guy a bit of a go today. He's been inspired by such people as Michael Jackson. You can tell that by the way he dances. Also Boys to Men, and I just realized that I actually haven't done them. So they'll be coming up in the next little while. And so this guy, for someone who started out at the age of 16, he's done very, very well for himself in the 14 or 15 years since he's been going. So it was great to give Justin a bit of a go today. So the links to those 8 clips in the description below. And I've also included my last video from the Justice Cruise, so if you want to recap on them, feel free. Well, if this is your first time to Life Reflections through Music, or you come back for another one, how great to see everybody here. Well, next time, as we're starting to round out the J's a little bit, we're going to get on to another Justin Timberlake. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.